Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. So today we will be presenting our project work which is about the energy consumption, and from this data set that are given we will be formulating an hypothesis and using statistical tests to interpret the result.
Okay, next proceed with my part. Step 1. First, open IBM SPSS statistic and click new dataset to create a new file. A blank spreadsheet will appear on the screen at the bottom of the window. There are two tabs called Data View and Variable View. The Variable View is used to define the variables, while the Data View is used to enter the data. Step 2. Define the variables in Variable View. Set household ID as a string variable because it contains text values such as H1 and H2. Then set energy source as a numeric variable and assign the values 1 equals to non-renewable and 2 equals to renewable. Lastly, set consumption as a numeric variable because it represents monthly electricity consumption in kilowatt hour. The completed variable view should appear as shown in image 1. Step 3. Enter the data in Data View. After defining the variables, click the Data View tab. 3 columns labeled Household ID, Energy Source and Consumption will appear. Then, after all the data from Table 1, use the code 1 for non-renewable household and 2 for renewable household. The completed data entry should appear as shown in image 2. Step 4. Check value labels. To display the labels, non-renewable and renewable instead of the numbers 1 and 2, click View and select the Value Labels button on the toolbar, as shown in image 3. This step helps make the dataset easier to read and understand. And lastly, step 5, save the SPSS file. Save the dataset by clicking File, Save As. Choose the folder location and name the file. That's it.
Okay, so next is my part. Perform hypothesis testing in IBM SPSS statistics. This is to test whether renewable energy households consume less electricity than non-renewable households. Step 1. Click Analyze from the top menu bar, then select Compare Means and choose Independent Sample T-Test. A new dialog box will appear. Step 2. Select the variable consumption from the list of variables and move it into Test Variables box using the arrow button. Then select Energy Source and move it into the Grouping Variable box. Step 3. Click Define Groups in the new window. Enter 1 for Group 1 and 2 for Group 2. Here, 1 represents non-renewable households and 2 represents renewable households. Click Continue to save the group settings. Finally, click OK to run the test. SPSS will generate the output tables including group statistics and independent sample test. In the group statistic table, you will see the average electricity consumption for each group. For example, non-renewable households may have an average consumption of 435,000 kilowatt per hour, while renewable households may have an average consumption of 340.5 kilowatt per hour. This indicates that households using renewable energy consume less electricity on average than non-renewable households. And that's from me.
So, my part is independent sample test table. Now focus on the p value and look at significance one-sided p and two-sided p. What here show p less than 0.001. This means the probability is less than 0.1%, which means it's extremely small chance. Now let's try to compare p-value with significance level. Usually alpha equals 0.05, but this time we change the alpha to p, which means p stands for probability. Now we must decide whether it rejects hash null or fail to reject the hash null. since 0.001 less than 0.05. Therefore, the null hypothesis will be rejected. Now comes to statistical interpretation. The independent sample t-test showed that there is a significant difference in monthly electricity consumption between households using renewable energy and non-renewable energy. So it shows that T brackets 18 equals 8.352, which means P less than 0.001. To conclude, households using renewable energy sources consume significantly less electricity compared to households using non-renewable energy sources. Therefore, renewable energy adoption reduces average monthly electricity consumption. Now, let's go to the whole hypothesis testing summary. If null hypothesis, it shows mu renewable equals mu non-renewable, which means no significant difference exists. But if alternative hypothesis, it shows mu less than mu renewable, which means renewable household consume less electricity. So that's all for me.